she was really sad she had to miss out. So today we are going to have a speaker. Nick, he will be here to speak about Chinese New Year and traditions surrounding the year. He will take questions from you guys when you have questions to ask. I told him maybe this would touch on like the Chinese culture of growing up in China. I know that he goes here to America and he needs to teach culture and talk about that. But if you guys have questions about daily life, about the students, about being in the Chinese culture, we will open up the questions to you both. I am going to Jennifer Feldman to start us off. And while she is talking, I'm going to get some of our appetizers ready that you guys can try. I promise you I'm not a chef, but I try. We're going to have two different kinds of food. There is the Yao, which is a rice cake, a sweet rice cake. That's pretty appetizing. And it's supposed to be allergen-free, so no gluten or anything like that. Usually, when you look at our food, you probably see the European food, they usually have it like deep fried a little bit, right? The other is it looks like a pie with salt. And then I have some different kinds of dumplings, and they're not gluten-free, sorry, I didn't want to put these. But there's some different kinds of things that she has in her car, and there's one just back there eating some chocolate. So it's hot dog chocolate, and there's a bottle of water back there, whenever you need it. So this is Jennifer Feldman. She travels here from Dallas. She is the community director at Meetup, right? And we are so excited. I got to meet her earlier, and Jen has been the biggest supporter of kids for me. And that's what the path is about. This video is not a path to this, it's about Jen's support. And she is our really great, great. She has been such a supporter of Kansas City, so we are really excited to have her here.
I agree. It was interesting when I got pulled into work on this. Sorry, this is a really magical way to run a business.
Okay, so I actually started this
bragging about you to teams today.
She teaches hip hop at a center in Lawrence. She went to KU, and Nick took the class because Emily's boyfriend is one of his really good friends, and so I took a hip hop class with Nick. And I saw he did a TED Talk for UMKC, and I saw his TED Talk and reached out to him, and he so graciously volunteered to speak to us about Chinese New Year and about the Chinese culture. So we're so appreciative. Thank you for doing that.
I currently work as a electrical engineer at Black Beach. A little bit about myself. I was born and raised in China. I lived in China until I was 3 years old before my dad had the opportunity to come to Kansas City, actually to do his postdoctoral research here at UMKC. So my mother and I just kind of took this chance to, woo, we're here. So fast forward, when I was 7 in 2000, my dad's fund ran out, so we decided to move back to China to continue his profession as a professor. But lo and behold, my mom had a disagreement where she found her passion and her new path. So my parents divorced, and my dad took me back. Then another fast forward, 2008, I had the opportunity to come back to the United States, come back to Kansas City, and I've been here ever since today, until about a month ago, where I went back to China for the first time in 10 years to celebrate with my family. So trust me, this past month has been an amazing learning experience myself, to recognize how much has changed China in the past 10 years, and hopefully I can bring you guys some more insights today. So we're going to talk about the Chinese New Year. All right, so the Chinese New Year. When is the Chinese New Year? That's always the more important question, because unlike the Western calendar, which is pretty fixated amount to 364 days, because, well, the one day extra in February, the Chinese calendar really are based off the moon, the lunar calendar, because back in the day, they didn't really have a better way to measure. So the moon was their tool to guide and assess what time it is among different measurements, into which you can see it has some similarities with the Western ones, because like the 12 signs, I don't even know. I know I'm a Libra. I don't even know what you call that thing, because thank you, the other zodiac, right? So we have our own version, but instead of a monthly base, it's a yearly base, as you guys already know. So that's kind of how the timing is being based. And with that, it's always been predicted that the Chinese New Year happens starts at about the third week of January to like the second half of February, but just kind of bounce between that month of time. And following with that, about the Chinese zodiac, I already saw the cheat sheet on your table. You guys probably already got this down. So personally, I'm a rooster, so that kind of gives off that I'm anywhere between 14 to 38. That's right. So the quick funny story behind it. First of all, do anyone know the story behind the zodiacs and the 12 animals? Anybody? Well, there's many urban legends, and the most popular one has always been known as, well, back in the day, there's many gods in China, and the more, I guess the more popular religion at the time was Buddhism. So one of the Buddhist gods has announced that we are going to have this huge celebration like no other had ever been before. And he kind of just called all the animals to come across from all the animal kingdoms. And obviously, you can see just big animal representations all kind of showing up. And funny enough, at the time, the ox, the cow, was always more humble and hardworking, like typically how they were depicted in, like farms and such. So it started early on his journey, walking slowly, one step at a time. But to translate it, it means arrive. The word actually means da, which means upside down. So, but this word itself on this paper, it means fortune. So when you have an upside down fortune, you haven't arrived fortune. Got that? You see how ridiculous we are in China? It's like my grandparents believe in these things. Like it just doesn't make any sense. And I had the same question when I was 5. Like, why do you do that? Like it just looks weird. You have to tilt your head and crack your neck. But that's just the things we do. So these are just some more things we do to prepare for Chinese New Year. What we do traditionally on the New Year's Day. Everything else has so many traditions. And let me just say this. China's a huge country. Just like the United States, there's many different traditions. It's like every household have their own way to make rotisserie chicken. Like, it's all delicious. Like, from my point of view, all I care about is the chicken. I don't care about the recipe. Like, I just care about the home bao, the red envelope at the end. So to which, all these traditions, it could be so many varieties, just so you're aware. So if your student tells you that do something different, it could totally be true. It's just because they might cross between so many people. So there's a huge, vast difference between the northern versus the southern, etc. So now the second day, that is a very interesting day. The second day is where people start typically go visit their relatives. You know, I'm talking about your second cousin.
Okay, so there are 4 takeaways. Adorable. I may have taken one out of the wrapping and put it on my desk for a couple days this week. So yours might be used, I'm sorry. Amanda Lyons. Say Nana? Nona? There are 2 more. Becky. Okay, there's 1 more. How do you say your name? Is it Alice? Alright. Okay, we do have a few t-shirts. We have a medium, a 2X, a 3X, and a 2X. There's some different kinds here. So you can either come up and choose a t-shirt or you can take home the cute little new dino bag. Jenna Yoder. Okay, next. There is no name on that. Oh. 247338. You can either do a goodie bag and everybody's going to go home with something today. Miss Jen brought us some things, and I also have some very cute pick home out to send you home with. So our next winner is Sky. So at this point, you can take a goodie bag or a t-shirt. Next is Melissa. Anna, CDJ. After Anna is Evelyn. And we have 10 sets of Meg and Mike to go in. I don't even have Meg and Mike.
That's awesome.
Okay, so you can do, there is 1 t-shirt left. Or there is Meg and Mike. Gone. Okay, Lindsay.